Hello and welcome to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. I'm Dillon, I'm your host, and today I haven't really looked at the news, and then since February, I deleted all social media off my phone. So, from that standpoint, I'm not on edge or glitchy or worked up about the state of affairs in the country. Local politics are always going to have a place and a point, as you should, right? Like all politics are local. Those are the things you can affect. Those are the things that are going to affect you the most. You can have an effect on them, and you're going to be affected by them in the same right. So, local stuff, whatever, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like a lot of local things aren't too bad, honestly. Like here lately, we had a couple fires set by some homeless. More than likely, that's my guess out of it because it was basically in their homeless camps. And so through that, like that's a problem, right? And you're going to deal with that locally. Granted, when your house just burns down, you're kind of, SOL anyway, right? Your tents or whatever burned down for it. It's sad in some regards, but at the same time, it's problematic, especially when the rest of the state sends all of their problems to us on a one-way bus ticket, right? But it's at the same time, like, again, so it's not, by no means is it like, do you want to see any of that happen, right? I would wish that the 250 acres that they burned did not burn. I wish that we didn't have to spend millions of dollars in flying helicopters and dumping retardant and all the EMS personnel between CAL FIRE, local fire, sheriffs, police, EMS. Like, I don't know if anybody got hurt, plus all the other volunteers that dedicated their time for large animals, any other relocations that might have happened for it. You don't want to see any of that happen. And then the fear that it puts into folks, right? Like, is my house going to burn, or am I going to lose my business, or any of that kind of stuff? Like, you don't ever want any of that, but that is like a hyper local problem, right? Like fires that are up in Oregon and burning the entire like western or eastern half of Oregon right now. Like, not too worried about them because they're not anywhere close to where we are, right? The one that's 10 miles away, yeah, like that's an issue. So I could say that, like, removing social, removing that type of stuff, not going on LinkedIn, not doing any of that, just listening to podcasts, and then just listening to podcasts that really apply to me and my industry and or business have been way better for like mental clarity and not being so neurotic or upset or frustrated or sad or whatever other emotion about something that I have no control over, will not put any time into, right? It's not like I have my federal senator or representative, right? The state guys of California, like I don't have their phone numbers or anything like that, to text or call. Like, sure, some of the local ones, right? Like for state reps at the California Assembly, sure, but it's really our supervisors that matter more than anything else. So, from that standpoint, life's been pretty good. The weather's been awesome. Running's been fantastic here lately. So that's been honestly super nice. And then as far as projects go, we've been super consistent, super steady. And then having people here full time as we're growing has been awesome. And then for us, we just launched a brand new website, went live last night. So that's really cool for us, really showcasing a lot of our projects, what we've been working on over the last few years. So all that's now live and on the new website. Then for a lot of other infrastructure upgrades are going on behind the scenes, which is always fun and exciting to do. From that standpoint, it's the stuff that really nobody ever sees, but it's the types of infrastructure upgrades that you got to do for business systems, processes, operating the company. Some things break, or don't go as planned, and you do your best to adjust and deal with any problems and fallout, as best as you can. So none of that ever goes always as planned. So for us, it's just, again, dealing with whatever issues come up and handling it from there has been really, I think, a big story. And what I've seen and learned too in dealing with our clients, there's problems come up because probably in construction more than anything else, right? Like things change, people change their mind, things don't always go right. And so it's hugely important to take those in stride, right? It's usually, and for the most part, never personal, right? It's what the client wants, what they're trying to achieve out of the project, out of whatever, and they change their mind, right? Or we don't have all the information for it, or scope completely changes of what they want or what was intended or what was conveyed. And I think, again, it's an important thing for life, but in construction more so, don't take those changes or things personally. It's going to happen. Things are not going to go right, and we just do our best to honestly not let that affect the end client. Like do our best, make our best assumptions, have our list of questions, and as we can address those kind of one by one, it reassures the client and that we know what we're talking about, as well as assuring the ultimate owner of the project, right? Because our clients are contractors, but that the ultimate owner of the project, they're building, everything for them is going to get built the way that they want it, right? Because a lot of the times we're not always in front of the owner. We're conveying all the information to our contractors and getting all those questions answered with them, and then ultimately forwarding on, giving them that information that they can have every bit of it, all the ammunition they need to then talk to the owner in a well-informed manner, right? That they've got everything they need. They've got the questions that we need answers to so that they can build the project. So I think that's just hugely important. Like we've run into a handful of those things, right? Some are big, some are small, some are somewhere in the middle, right? For just issues, changes, whatever. Some of that's part of growth. Some of that's honestly the industry writ large. I will say too that like not being on social or hearing any of the, I guess, culture or whatever people are talking about, in the zeitgeist has also helped to really the economy writ large is not our economy. That has also been really huge. I hear people one-offs, talking about like the economy's not good or whatever. It's like you have control over what you're doing. So there's some contractors, really all the guys that we deal with, especially on the electrical side, like don't have enough people. So to me, that's like our economy and the contractors that we deal with is really good. When you don't have enough people and your job is running crews and people and labor, like it is a problem. I won't say if it's good or bad. Depends on the other side of it for you, right? If you have liquidated damages, how big those liquidated damages are for missing projects. But a lot of this goes into what projects you do and don't take. So for a lot of these guys, they're able to either take on these bigger projects, or they do have the labor pool for them, or they're just not taking bigger projects. They're doing what's comfortable for them. They're running the crews that they're comfortable with, and they've got the work that they want to do. So ignoring kind of the greater economy or what the market does or anything else, because honestly, that doesn't affect, one, my day-to-day, two, even in retirement accounts or anything like that, you're still, for me, I don't know if I'll ever retire, but like 40 years away from that, 30, 40 years, right? 30 if I do 65 and 40 if it's later, right? So I think with just looking at the market, and if you've seen any of the studies of like day traders or any of those guys, how just neurotic they end up being, and your mood swings just based on the market and something that you have absolutely no control over. or the trades you did or didn't make in a given day. Like personally, that's not a life I would like to live, and being like that unhinged, I guess, or something that I have no control over, right? And so paying attention to markets or the economy or things that are out of my control, being away from it, you don't know how much it dictated your emotions, right? So, I mean, I'm still on my phone all day, mainly because I'm texting clients or other guys or whatever, right? Friends, not so much like the just seeing the whims of the world on social media. So for me personally, that's been honestly fantastic because like I don't have that angst, I guess, about me that, social gives people. Like you can sit down and watch a movie and just watch the movie. It's kind of nice, to sit down for 2 hours and like not be tied to anything else. So that's been huge. Other than that, man, it's business as usual. I think I've signed more NDAs in the past like 2 weeks than I have in the past like 6 years. So more and more projects are honestly going that way, and the types of projects that we get into with data centers and or like manufacturing facilities of different kinds and scales that we're putting proposals together for. Like everybody just wants an NDA. They think that their thing is special. Now locations are special, honestly, around it. Some designs may or may not be, but it's just been cool to see more and more of that type of stuff, where people are again just getting into bigger projects. And like I was told one of our contractors the other day, like this was actually to a general contractor, was, as an electrical engineer, we were always whatever 10-15% of a given project. Now in like the data center world specifically, we're the single largest trade on a project. We are now 30% of a given project size, if not 35, right? So overall project value in electrical is 35% of a project. That is just insane from where we had like very little pull to where we are the majority of a project now. And basically the driving force behind most of these projects, right? Everybody's doing things to support the electrical contractor and engineer and all the electrical equipment. Is really kind of honestly insane from a just historic standpoint, right? And so it's flipping the paradigm for a lot of these guys where the general contractor they're in a weird position because they're not like dirt's not the biggest thing anymore. Steel, structure, flooring, walls, right? The things that a GC is very much used to doing and dealing with is nowhere near the top trade anymore, or the kind of general trades I would say are no longer the like number one combined for a project in the data center world. It's basically mechanical or electrical, then mechanical, depending on what it is, maybe plumbing, fire protection, if you combine those two. Past that, it ends up being like, because a lot of these just go into like pole barns, it's like pole barn as an exterior skeleton, and then they'll build the rooms, interior wise for them. But I mean, they're not like impressive exterior structures, right? They're like pre-engineered metal buildings. Nothing crazy for most of these projects. Some of them aren't. Like we do have like some that are actual engineered like structures and big and huge, but for like the smaller projects, they're like pre-engineered metal buildings, which are again not that expensive relatively, right? It's what people store their RVs and crap in. They're just not that impressive. And then all the other build out, interior that is. So honestly, those have been the things that we've been on is, we're not slowing down. Things are happening. We're expanding. We've got projects going and opportunities in Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, like that Memphis area. We've got projects going in Nashville and opportunities there. Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. Just had an opportunity come up for a project in New York, which will be neat. New York State, so kind of up well, I guess everything is upstate from the city. So there, California, and then some other opportunities are coming up in Kansas City and Missouri. So Kansas and Missouri, and then we'll have we're looking to expand with some partnerships in the Pacific Northwest here later this year. So for us, we're nowhere close to slowing down, foot's on the gas, and then we're continuing to go from there. I mean, like I've got meetings later this week too with recruiters to look at hiring more people to bring on really this fall for us, and then we'll be attending in September. We'll be at, I think I got a career fair in September, another one in either October or November. So I mean, we'll be at 3-4 universities later this year, later the fall when everybody goes back to school. So that'll be exciting for us as well. And yeah, I mean, a lot going on, man. It's fun. That is this episode of the Construction Corner podcast. Until next time.